Mitchy Mojo with your natural hair. Mitchy Mojo.
Welcome to our show, Pasqual's Eye in the Arts, coming to you from West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. We have a very exciting show tonight. We have a queen that's here, and we have Eric Zuley. And the most important thing to me about this show is father and son. Two men working together in harmony, doing great, unbelievable things for the media. So anyway, I'd like to introduce Eric and his father.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
So Eric, why don't you introduce your father? I think you would be a great introduction and talk about him and what it's all about, your life, working with your dad. And how did it all start? You know,
There's no words. My dad is just, I'm a vessel, he's a vessel. He's a very incredible individual that's been I mean, he's done real estate. He's from Chicago. And he just does everything he possibly can for everybody else. He doesn't think of himself ever. It's always about everybody else. And he's the reason, easy way is what it is. He's the reason I'm sitting here right now on the show. He's just the most selfless man you'll ever meet, and he's my rock. He's everything to me, and so I'm just gonna let him take it away.
Before he takes it away, I want to tell you something. Everybody tells me how great this man is.
Mm-hmm.
I have not heard anything but, oh, wait till you meet his dad. Wait till you meet this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is wonderful. I know your head is going to be so big.
This is a tough one.
I know. Anyway, welcome to our show. And, you know, I respect what you're doing, what you've done, and what you're going to do in the future with this young man who's out there now. And I bet it's mind-boggling to see all the things he's doing.
This is like following Bob Hope on stage. This is a tough one.
Thanks for that bar that you just set for me. Appreciate that.
No, caring is key, and I always race Eric to have a good heart. Ever since he was little, he'd pick something up and go hand it to somebody. He was a little kid. And I've always taught him you have to have hard work, determination, drive, and resilience, which, I know so many people have. But without faith, morals, and ethics, it's a waste of time. Wow. And I like some of the responses I've got over the years from people like this young lady, what she says, and other people that have called me up that in this business are quite notable. And they'll tell me, I enjoy, and these are people that have been in business 50 years. They've been around. I enjoy working with your son. He brings a new spirit. I enjoy getting up in the morning knowing I'm going to be working with Eric. He just brings a new spirit to this. I'm going, oh, okay. These are the kind of things. He's good at what he does. This started back when he was in third or fourth grade with the computer. Had him a computer when he was really small. And the high school kids would come over, and they would be playing these different complicated computer games. And got to let you know, he's a tech guy. I'm still impressed by the television set.
He doesn't really claim himself as a tech guy, though.
Well, it's the stuff
when I
on
talk
the
about that,
computer.
and I know he's a tech guy because he put my show together while we were talking. I thought, what? I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
He sold me
It's
by his actions.
Yeah.
They
And
speak louder than words sometimes.
His thing is care.
I say you got to walk about it, not talk about it.
Yeah, it's a care thing, and I'm meeting a lot of, like I was at the Trump Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes, and we're with Rosie Greer, who you guys know,
Right.
But a lot of the people, the younger generation, don't really know. He didn't know who he was.
I know who he is now, but I didn't know who he was.
Have you
then.
met him? He's really.
Oh, yeah.
We hung out with him.
Oh,
I have an
wonderful.
interview on YouTube with him.
Oh, great.
And these kind of people, and we're with Dreyfus at this one event, and all these, and people that we remember.
I mean, Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, his new movie and whatever.
And I'm meeting these people because of what he's put together, And for us, baby boomers, it's a new age today.
How did it start, though? How did this happen? Whose idea was Easy Way?
Well,
where did it come from? That's something we didn't...
Going back further, he had a entrepreneurial spirit. He had a little sign, Eric's Magic Show.
Oh God.
Eric's Magic Show.
Now I remember why I didn't want to be on a show with my dad.
This
because he knows
is
too
like
much.
this is like third grade. Eric's
No,
Magic
of course
Show.
I want to be on a show. With my
And then we go up to, I'm not going to go over all the years, but we'll
Go
go up
ahead.
to
Okay.
we'll go up to like fourth
just on
grade,
Time Warner, no big deal.
sixth grade, fifth, whatever. And they had to do some kind of entertainment for the class, and he did the Michael Jackson thing, and they loved it. And then it came to going to L.A., networking and being on the carpets and meeting people, and people just liked his presence. And he kind of built a studio at our house, and a guy said, well, you're going to have to develop beats. You're going to have somebody that knows beats, and you're going to have to buy beats, whatever, the beats with the whatever. And then he's sitting there with notebooks, tons of notebooks, creating the schematics for beats and putting the words together. And then he's adding to the studio and building the studio. And the guy said, where'd you get these beats? He says, oh, I created them with this computer stuff.
Well, what happened is I had a publicist discover me when I was performing on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
And,
kind of anybody?
Her name was Cheryl Dolly. Actually, I'll give her credit. Like I
Uh-huh.
said, always give credit where credit's due. Cheryl Dolly discovered me, and there was a producer I worked with that did a show, and he came to my studio to get music. So anyway, she liked the ambiance, and it's all about persona. It's all about image. And so I had a limousine that we rented, and I had a lot of beautiful girls that wore my shirt that was promoting my company at the time. And so when I arrived, I had these beautiful models that were
This
presenting
was
my
not
brand.
Easy Way.
No, Easy Way wasn't born yet. I'm telling you, I'm getting
Okay.
it. So these beautiful women were presenting our brand, and I had a suit on, and I did my thing. And she came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, I love your image. I love what I saw. I love your movement. I love it. Here's my card." And so I followed up with that card. That's what happened. And follow up is key. So I called her up, and it happened to be, I'm a dancer. I've danced with the
that I didn't know.
choreographer for the
Okay,
Laker
so-
girls. I've danced with Pulse Dance Troupe. I've danced at Magic Mountain and a lot of theme stuff. I've trained dancing. And
You're a trained dancer.
no, I have trained other people in
you trained
dancing.
other people.
I'm a
So
street dancer. See,
you're all self-taught. Oh, look at you.
I do all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. And so basically, I went to an event that I was invited to, and I saw a gentleman holding a microphone with cameras and lights and all that stuff. And that's what really all began. Because when you get to the point where you can hold a mic and you can interview people, that's your doorway. That's that open doorway where you really get to network with a lot of these.
Where was
amazing
Dad during all this time? I mean, were you watching this, or
Oh,
were you involved at that time?
Carmelita knows years of going down and Akon and all that stuff. We would be home working, he'd be working on his studio and stuff, and we get a call from their studio. Eric, can you come down? And it's not like it's like 2 miles away. This is Mission Vale, and we're, all right.
2 hours.
So we'd go
Right.
down there and whatever with the music and stuff, and then the events, so many events, which many events, right? And I would go set up the stuff and get the cameras ready and, put it together, and then they would do the carpet events. We'd meet like the gentleman that was with the most interesting man in the world. People like that. We're on, just talking.
Does he
You know
go out
what
with-
my dad really was?
What?
My dad was bringing me plates of food to make sure I'm nourished as I was doing this on the computer and keeping everything going. My dad was making sure that I'm getting sleep.
Does he cook?
Yeah, well, I can burn
Well,
a few things.
he can buy Burger King really well, and Carlos Jr. He's a master at that. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm saying he's pretty good. He
I'm
can
good
cook.
at baking I have a recipe. You put a meatloaf in the oven.
Uh-huh.
I fix it all really nice, put additives in it. You put it in the oven at 375 for about 6 hours. And then you come back and you see what's left and you scrape up this little thing and throw it away. And then
No.
you get a couple pot pies or you go to Wendy's or something. That's about it.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
Like radio and fantastic voice. So how do you have a show? Tell us about the show.
Carmelita's on with me and she makes it great.
Carmelita's Corner.
And if you remember Betty White's scenario, the Betty White scenario, Betty White's co-star in Off the Rockers is Retha Gray. Retha and I do the show together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
And then
yes.
we talk about a baby boomer's perspective, Social Security, retirement, insurance, and Carmelita brings so many interesting guests on.
And Carmelita has
She's got her own segment.
Carmelita's Corner. Is
yeah.
that what? Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. She's bringing some important
Oh yeah,
people,
She,
history to
you
the
were
table.
on there too.
I was, yes. I was, okay.
Yeah, I think you were one of our
But
guests.
you bring these big stars on from the past and the present and the future. It's really amazing. I really enjoyed your show. I wait to hear her there, and sometimes it's at 10:15, but we don't get on until 10:25 or something. So it's the show is not. It's a real family kind of different. I mean, it's not this produced.
It's casual.
It's not
Casual.
it's not the every. What is it?
It's raw.
Raw.
We keep it
What
casual.
how do you pronounce? What do you say about raw?
R-A-W, raw.
Is that on purpose?
It's off the cuff.
Because when I first saw you, I come from an educated background with Brooks Institute of Photography, and I had photography school for many years. So I'm such a taskmaster on perfect things, and photography being perfect and this and that. When I saw you first, I thought, what in the world is this guy doing? He's with a little thing. He's going around talking, and he's like, And then I started. I tell Carmelita, who is this guy? I said, Carmelita, I don't know if I think you really should be in. Because it's me, I'm Pasqual. I tell them all. But then after a while, I said, you know what? He's creating something new, something real. Raw is a good subject.
Yeah, well, I always tell my guests to tune in by 10:15 because I want to get them cued in by the time our segment is ready to go.
And Eric pops in, right? I mean,
Sometimes.
Is it normally your dad's show?
It's their
But-
show, yeah. But if they want me to pop in and support the show, or
Right.
I do like easy way updates and things, and so we want to use that vehicle obviously to have the baby boomers know about what we have
And you
going
know
on,
what's
too.
exciting about Eric? He's excited about everybody that he meets and brings onto the show. And this is kind of a new creation. That's why I was mentioning about he's the PR agent, he's the communicator about the three most important things today for branding is what? Twitter, what are all those?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Right.
LinkedIn. There's actually a new one called Kiwi. We have 13.5 thousand followers on that, and that you actually ask a question, and then you have a bunch of people give you an answer.
Oh, that's the new
He's very proud of what he does as far as when he meets someone for promoting and that. He's just so,
That's what I'm talking about.
He's so proud of it.
And he
He's-
makes people feel good.
that's his focus.
And that's the different. That is the easy way. I used to say the surest shortcut to success is coming to artography, and we did it kind of the easy way, where they would learn. In a school for a year, we would teach in 10 weeks because we were actually doing the productions. So I'm so proud because we have so many graduates out there right now. Paul Weber in this town is one of the top casting directors who graduated from our school. And we have people all over the world.
Do you keep up with the tech and everything? I mean, do you?
I'm trying to because, now I said to Eric the other day, I said, take over. I said, I've got so many things going on. It's amazing. And then I thought, well, gee, I would have to pay a PR agent, all the different agents. It's like you're putting it all together.
And if you don't keep up and you own a flower shop and the guy next door owns a flower shop and he's on all this media stuff, he will take off and get the sales and you fall behind.
I'll just say this, Pasqual.
And that's important, Eric, because, I don't create art for money. I created art for my students. When I started assemblage art, I was a photographer, a world photographer, a fellow in the Royal Photographic Society of Great Britain, and have all kinds of awards.
Wow.
And so, that was one good thing that people wanted to come to my school to want to be like me.
Yeah.
But, but I was a pretty strict, what do you call it, a taskmaster?
Taskmaster, yeah.
Or a boot camp
Yeah.
kind of thing. That doesn't work anymore. I don't think
It's a
it
different
does.
world.
Yeah. And how did you raise him? Were you strict, or what's the story? You let him do what he wanted?
Well,
or?
I drilled in, the Star Trek has a prime directive, and it's go out and explore new worlds, but don't interfere.
Don't interfere.
Don't interfere. And with him, whatever your belief. But with Eric, I said, you keep the prime directive. And with us, it's keep Jesus in your heart. Or if you're not a believer in Jesus, and he said, if you can't believe in me, believe in my words. Somebody asked me, I was inspecting a fire system, and it was time to leave. And I said, if you have any questions, and they kind of laughed and said, yeah, what's the meaning of life? And I said, love. You know,
Look at them too.
caring.
And you know something interesting? You're faith-based.
Oh, that's
And
the
I
only way to
think
roll.
it is very important today to really have that foundation.
Oh, yeah. that's-
You know, and of course, you must have had it since he's a kid. You know, I mean, how did that all? I mean, you know, how do you keep a kid out there wanting to go to church? Were you wanting them to go to church? And you know,
I told him with the computer, I said, it's all on the computer. All that stuff. The good stuff, the bad stuff, it's all there for you, and it's your decision.
right?
But I did teach him, or I opened the door to follow your dream. Where a lot of people, well, if the parents don't want them in that certain field, they will push them towards engineering. He thought of engineering, building bridges and things like that, and he thought of different. But he liked, the one aspect of the entertainment and so on.
I was always a people person.
Yeah.
I was always a people person. I always wanted to be the center of attention in school when I did parties, and so now I figured out how to be a people person and help everybody else as well make a living.
It doesn't seem that a son would take the father. Usually, the sons are usually they're going to do things, and the dad did it the old-fashioned way. It doesn't seem like you, are in that category.
We had parties. Back then, the parents say, go do party, And I'd say, no, bring the party. And boy, we had some big ones. And his birthday parties were huge. But people say, why do you allow these people to come? Well, they were at the house. I knew where they were. And we had a house full. But it was no problem.
Is he only child?
Yeah. And there was no problem with the party. The people were great people. And I kind of kept an eye on things.
So,
And,
so you went. You took part in his life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, we would, but he's, what you see is this social media stuff. But what he doesn't really have, other than our times with Carmelita and the events, that's pretty much it for his social life. There isn't much. So that's why I'm going to try to go on the computer and match him up.
He's trying to help me and wanting to help me on the computer and email and stuff, and that's just not him. That's not that generation. And
Yeah.
but he tries to help as much as he can, and I love that. And I'm trying to get him to not and to relax and stuff. But I want to get into the award. If you don't, I don't know if this was a
Absolutely,
part of,
absolutely.
This was really special to me to be able to have people like yourself.
You want to get off of the subject of have all this stuff.
Yeah.
I got it.
Nice
He's been
catch.
sitting there very quietly, but his face is red, and But this is
I'm usually
why I
white.
wanted the show.
Yeah, of
Basically, to hear what a father, and it seems like an incredible relationship, not as normal as most fathers and sons. They would want to get away from our fathers or our mothers, But this is an incredible artistic marriage, business-wise, and at the same time, you have love for each other and respect for each other.
And I'm hoping that our relationship can inspire the families and other
Absolutely,
relationships out there.
absolutely.
But so I want you guys to tell us a little bit
Okay.
about this award, and I know there's a lot of background.
Okay, let's. I guess Carmelita can talk about it. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, this is sort of a recreation to a degree of the presentation that Eric wanted to have made to his dad. And it was for a very special occasion, and it was presented during the first Influencers Unite event, which was held in a very special, unique place at the Breakwater at Dana Point, where we were surrounded with beautiful yachts and beautiful scenery and beautiful people. And we did this as a surprise award. Because it was Eric's birthday, but so we sort of covered it over with Eric's birthday. But you were the star of that event,
No.
and he wanted to make sure that you were honored. And I think that that's very commendable, because we should honor our parents. That is something that is very commendable that we should do. So this is a Salute America certificate. And as Senior Senator Pasqual had mentioned, I was appointed as the Los Angeles representative for Salute America sometime by Douglas Lindley, who was the founder, co-founder
Young.
with co-founder with Senior Senator Pasqual. And so, on behalf of Salute America, we present to you again the Salute America certificate.
Thank you. very
Along
much.
with,
Very nice.
we're running out of time.
Yes,
but
and also we want everyone to see this beautiful award. This is the Angel Award that is given on behalf of the Rose Breast Cancer Society, and we have partnered it this time with the Artery USA. And it's significant because it's only presented to very special people. And you are certainly worthy of that with your background, with your experience with the military, and what you have done on behalf of the entire company, of the country, that is. And the
okay,
product.
you know, believe it or not, we've run out of time.
Mitchy, Mitchy Mojo with your natural hair. Mitchy, Mitchy Mojo with your natural hair.